Your medication makes me high. Just be patient. I'm like a patient trying to find levitation. Run your fingers down my spine. Elevation. The medication makes me high.
Have you had your Jeff session today? The Jeff smoke session? That's right. I'm just doing a video today to remind y'all that March Against Monsanto is coming up this weekend. And it all ties into the ganja thing, which I'll draw that line in the sand for you to connect those two dots. So, March Against Monsanto / Bayer, because Bayer is buying Monsanto, but it hasn't happened yet. They're still in merger talks and all that type of stuff. However, why is that so important? Why do I need y'all to come out this Saturday, May 19th, wherever you are, in every city around the world? Well, because it's extremely important to let other people know what's going on with their health. Like, all these people have no idea what GMOs are doing to them. None. I've had conversations this past week with people that are all into their health and all into like eating healthy and all this. Didn't even know what a GMO was. So even though we feel like we've saturated the truth community with that information, and everyone in the truth community knows don't eat GMOs, the average person in America, believe it or not, still doesn't even know what a GMO is. So we have a huge fight still ahead of us. And as Bayer merges with Monsanto, they're just going to centralize control more. And how does this all tie into like Jeff Sessions, ganja, or cannabis, marijuana, whatever you want to call it? How does it all tie in? Well, because the only reason this is continued is because Big Pharma, like Bayer, is buying up the GMO food production so that the food and stuff continues to make people sick, so they need the pharmaceuticals to deal with the symptoms from all the diseases they have from eating bad food and living not healthy, right? So that's what's going on here. It's like the guy whose son goes out in the neighborhood and smashes up everyone's windows, and he just happens to own a glass repair shop, right? Like, it's the exact same thing. That's what they're doing. They're making everyone sick with the food and then going, we have the pharmaceutical solution for you. When really all people need to do is move away from GMO food and obviously fluoridated water and other things. But one big key is to move away from the genetically modified foods, which are relatively only 90-something% of the modifications are to enhance the plant's ability to withstand stuff like Roundup. And Roundup is a carcinogen, okay? So it's a cancer-causing agent, right? And they just cover the plants with this stuff. Some plants can even grow the Roundup inside themselves. That's how advanced they've gotten with this. And basically works like this. Like before, if you had a field of plants and you covered it in Roundup, they'd all die. All the good plants, all the weeds, everything, because it's a toxic chemical that kills life, okay? So now they've genetically modified plants to be able to withstand that. So now they can cover that same field in Roundup, even more Roundup than before, and the only thing that can possibly survive are these mutant plants that can survive this toxic environment. Think about it, and then you eat that toxic food. That's why Europe banned GMOs, because it's bad for your health, and they knew it, and there's no way to hide it. Yet here in America, we have people like Elizabeth Warren who will vote for the Monsanto Protection Act and all those types of things. So we need to unite against these corrupt politicians that are run by multinational corporations. We need to let our neighbors and the people around us know what is going on. Remember, I was woken up by a protester, someone protesting 9/11, which before I went and looked it up, I never came across any information about the truth movement. because they control the information matrix so tightly. That's what my whole channel's about, is just trying to break that controlled matrix that they have, right? To cause little glitches in it that they have to change their system to fix, right? That's what we're doing. And this is another way that they can't stop us from waking people up. Like if you go out in person and person to person tell people what's going on, they're much more likely to go out and look it up and then become awake, another truther, someone that isn't a part of the system, actively working against us because they're so desperately in need of that system, okay? So the more people we can wake up and bring to our side, the less people we have to struggle against in this system, okay? So one huge part of that is protesting. And this weekend, May 19th, there'll be a protest in every major city around the world against Monsanto. Everyone should be for this. I mean, just go look at the hundreds of thousands of people that committed suicide in India because of Monsanto's practices. It's gone beyond what's acceptable, and people have to be willing to stand up and fight back. And the time is not next year. The time is not to just make videos. The time is not just to tweet stuff. The time is to get up, get off the couch, get outside, and actually protest. We need thousands of people in the streets in Boston this weekend. And we need that every year until we've gotten the proper restrictions on genetically modified food, and things like the Monsanto Protection Act are ripped up and thrown out as ridiculous nonsense, which it is, okay? So that's what we need. We need lots of people supporting this. Everyone in the truther community, whether you're left, right, center, Martian, doesn't matter. You should be against genetically modified food. It's bad for every human being and living creature on this planet, okay? I mean, just look at some of the studies they've done where they've shown that, in the first generation, I think it was mice they did this with. First generation mice that were exposed to GMOs didn't show any problems with fertility. And then the second generation, 50% were infertile, could not have children. In the third generation, none. Not a single one of the mice, I believe, in the study, and I'll try to go find the study for you all. I've seen it like about a year and a half ago or something like that. But every last one of them infertile. So in 2 generations, if we continue using GMOs, if we go along the same path, we won't be able to have children as an entire species on this planet. Think about that. This United Nations Agenda 2030, Georgia Guidestones, depopulation of the planet program, GMOs is definitely a part of that. So keep that in mind. And it's not just about that. They want you also sick so they can profit off you while they're killing you slowly. Okay? So stop eating GMOs. Please support March Against Monsanto this Saturday, May 19th in Boston. It starts at 1 p.m. at Park Station, which is right in Boston Commons. Okay? Peace, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful day. God bless. Take care out there. And hopefully I'll see some of you this weekend.